Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engine. Today we are going to do some of the usual stuff, looking around, exploring. Let's see if this place exists. It does exist, so we're going to go there now. Oh right, I was like, it looks different because it had it turned on to, yeah, the 3D mode. I was told this is like a Mars moon with a huge crater. Or it's a moon around Mars. I'm not seeing the huge crater on it. Unless the huge crater is on its parent. Let's go investigate over here. Ooh. Oh, come on. I'm trying to select this. Alright. I guess we can't focus around the center. Yeah. Kinda has a Marsy feel about it. Its other little companion. Interesting, interesting. I actually had a huge list that was sent to me of places to go. And I appreciate the sentiment, but try recommending one or two things at a time. Don't send me a huge list. So I have to write it all down, and it's kind of a pain. But I will probably get to them in other videos, but I don't want to do all of them all at once. So yeah, keep sending them in, but just like maybe one or two at a time, not a huge list. Let's go to another place. I was asked in a video, HD 20766. That looks like that's Zeta Reticuli. 20807. I don't know if that's a thing, but 20766 is Zeta Reticuli. Unless we would these are two different stars. Let's try it. Let's do an experiment. Yeah, those are both Zeta Reticuli. Oh, okay, it was two stars in one thing. I get it. You want me to go to Zeta Reticuli? You know what? I'm totally on board with that. I always enjoy going to Zeta Reticuli for a very important reason. I'm sure you guys know. Because this is the star system that Alien takes place in. Incidentally, there's no planets here. But in the Alien world, I think it's Zeta Reticuli 1. This one over here. Or is it this one? I forget exactly which star it is, but I know that the planet, which, oh, what was it called? Shit, it was named by fans. Capalmos, there we go. The planet Capalmos, with its 3 moons, LV227, and there's Archon, which was LV2 something something, 24 something, and then the other one which was like 227 or something like that, which was the one from Prometheus, and the 3rd moon, which was never explored. But either way, yeah, those all are in this system. So, don't go here. You'll find xenomorphs. It's not good. But yeah, interestingly enough, there's no planets here, which is kind of sad, because I was hoping to find Capalmos. I was going to say Polyphemus, but it's like, no, that's Avatar. The moon, or the planet that Pandora orbited, was Polyphemus. I can't say I liked Avatar, but I can't say I hated it either. I liked the spaceship. I liked the planet. The characters were kind of boring. Sigourney Weaver was amazing, but she can do no wrong. The story was incredibly derivative. Like, it was basically like Fern Gully and Pocahontas and Dances with Wolves and The Last of the Mohicans. But whatever, it was science fiction. But it was it was more Pocahontas meets Fern Gully, to be perfectly honest. That's kind of the two that I feel were like the most. Maybe Last of the Mohicans. Whatever. Point is, yeah, the gas giant there was Polyphemus. The gas giant in Aliens is Capalmos. Which, funny thing about that is, it didn't actually have an official name. It was just there. But then fans started calling it Capalmos. Nobody really knows why. It just started happening. And then in one of the Alien games, they referred to it as Capalmos, like, and it became then it became the canon name, and now it's the canon name. It's like what's the planet that Archon orbits? Oh, it's Capalmos. I love when planets and stars have proper names, though. It makes me quite happy. A red luminous supergiant. My absolutely dry, incredibly hot dry Terra. This is not a fun system. Look at this. This planet is so hot, it's like luminescent. The absolute state of this place. Can you imagine living here? I wouldn't want to live here. Like, good God, look at that. That's quite the star. It's quite luminous. It is quite big. I love supergiants because their convection currents are huge. Like, if you look at the sun, our sun, Sol, or any other main sequence star in its general life, you'll notice that its surface looks kind of like a boiling pot of corn. Or just a boiling pot of oil, maybe. It has like that kind of that kind of bubbly look, and that's because that's exactly what it is. It's convection currents in the in the star's photosphere, kind of cycling, and the star is, in a way, boiling. It's boiling plasma. Well, it's not exactly, but in terms of visual motion, yes, it's boiling. It's convection currents. But then when you get these really big stars, the convection currents get huge. So instead of having a surface comprised of kind of like this mottled boiling look, you get these really lumpy stars because the convection currents are massive and unstable. And yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. But I'm not an astronomer. Not yet, anyways. Something interesting happened recently, which I'm actually kind of pleased with. You see, okay, I do radio astronomy as a hobby, like very, very basic stuff. I use an SDR to look for meteors and stuff. And last year I was planning on making a horn antenna to scan the hydrogen line, the 21 centimeter line, 1420 megahertz. But I didn't get around to that because 2020 was garbage and shelved a lot of my projects. But anyways, I'm getting back to that now. I want to make 3 of them and have them as an array. And I'm back. Yeah, sorry, this is actually, I'm actually recording this part, like, a few days after the first part. Something came up, I had an issue, and I couldn't get back to finishing it, but I figured I would just keep that segment and record the next part. So anyways, here we are. Very weird, but I didn't want to waste the recording. Yeah, I was talking about radio telescope, which, yeah, this is actually really cool. Because I was talking to one of the professors at the university who works at one of the observatories here, and I mentioned my telescope. I don't have anywhere to put it, so I couldn't build a big one. And he said that I could build my telescope and install it at the observatory and have it there full time. Like, I would maintain the equipment, but they would maintain the connection and internet, and I could basically use it remotely, which is nice because it's 30 minutes away, southwest of the city. And that's extremely cool because this means that I can have a larger telescope instead of the small crappy one that I was going to make. In terms of design, as I said, it's going to be a horn telescope, and it's going to be 3 of them in an array. So instead of having just one, what's that? That is Andromeda. So instead of having just like one that I could steer, it's going to be 3 pointed straight up, and they're going to be stationary pointing straight up. So they're going to scan the sky as the Earth rotates, which is fun. That can collect quite a bit. I might make it steerable. I can get some stepper motors and all that, but I'm not sure about... Like, I want to make it simple, so maintenance is easy, because I don't want to have to, like, drive out there frequently to fix motors. Because, it's not too far away, but it's not close enough that I can just do that. For some reason, the game is having some serious lag issues. Not sure why. But yeah, so that's gonna be exciting. I'm working on that currently. It'll probably be deployed sometime late this year, early next year. Because first off, I want to make sure that I get all the stuff put together properly. I need to do a bit of fundraising, and also because of COVID, I can't really go there right now and meet anybody in person. So, uh, it actually works out for me in the end. I have other projects working on too that'll happen before that, so it's not like I have nothing going on. Come on, click. Yeah, Space Engine is having problems. There we go. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be well, it's gonna be open to anyone to use, especially like the students at the university and whatnot. So it's gonna be probably most like the data it collects is mostly gonna be used by students and just whoever wants to do galaxy surveys of neutral hydrogen, because like it's gonna be tuned to the 21 centimeter line, which is the hydrogen line. But also what I'm gonna be using it for is SETI work. So basically, it's gonna be tuned to the hydrogen line and pointing up at all times, and just collecting data at that frequency. So I don't expect to find anything, but it'll be kind of cool to have a SETI telescope that's mine that I operate and run, and is also connected to a university too. So I'm actually thinking that once I get it all set up, hey, look at that. I might actually do like live streams where we just like chill out and have the telemetry streaming in and just talk about stuff while we just like basically watch telemetry. It'd be more like just a podcast fun thing than it would be an actual like, exciting live stream. But I'm sure someone might, enjoy and, watching live telemetry and talking about space. I mean, you're watching me play Space Engine for like hundreds and hundreds of episodes, so I assume you're okay with that. I might make a smaller one that can be pointed, or I might upgrade the telescope later on to make it steerable, but for now it's going to be a straight up, just, pointing telescope, scanning the hydrogen line as the Earth rotates. I'm very looking forward to it. It's been quite exciting. I also have two projects in the rocket world. I have my first test articles done, and I've been kind of playing around and testing it to see if the design works. I need to do the second test article now, which will actually test more of like the deploy systems, like the legs and the actual deployment of the rotor. Because the first one, the rotors don't deploy; they're just fixed. But whatever. And if that all works out, I'll make one more, the third one. But the second one is actually gonna fly. I'm gonna make it flight worthy. The first one technically can fly, but no, there's a few things with it that I don't want to use it to, like, to actually put motors and fly it. The second one will fly, and the third one. Oh, hello, Jimmy. The third one, it yes, Jimmy, it might use just a motor again, or it might actually use a small scale version of the peroxide engine that I'm building for the larger ones. So we'll see. That one's kind of a question mark. But there will be three altogether of the test articles before I start making the full-size rocket. And the first full-size one will be 4 feet tall, so that's going to be fun. On top of that, I also have a bit of I'm going to say it's a secret project, but it's not so much secret because, oh, it's, I want to keep it secret. It's more just, I want to, like, unveil it in a way that's like it'll be really cool. It involves the balloon project. It isn't a balloon gondola like the other ones, but it is related to the balloon project, and it's really cool. And I promise people are gonna love it. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know all this because I post updates and stuff. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun. So this is marine life. Interesting. So yeah, so I have those are the main ones going on: the telescope, the balloon thing, and the rockets. Beyond that, not much else immediately. Like, I'm gonna be working on like landscaping my backyard this summer. I have to get some rocks for my pond and some gravel for my Zen garden. That's more just like yard work stuff. It's interesting, but it's, not as interesting. It'll be great to get that done. I've been working on that damn thing for like 2 years. Cause like I did the Zen garden. I dug it out 2 years ago, and then last year I did the pond, but I didn't get gravel for the garden, and then I had to have the pond covered with a tarp, like, all winter. And then finally I got a liner for it this fall and installed that, and now it's actually full of water right now. It's frozen over, but it's full of water. And this spring I'm going to drain it, clean it out, get a pump and a skimmer, and let it do its thing. Because there are huge trees in my backyard, so it needs a skimmer, because it just fills up with leaves immediately. That's kind of fun. Yeah. I got new glasses recently. I don't think I like them very much. It's kind of weird. The prescription is correct, but the focal length feels a little bit wrong. And I've gotten used to them, but they still don't feel as comfortable as my old ones. So I'm probably going to go back and complain to them at some point. Who knows? I don't know what to talk about now. I was watching Contact yesterday, which is a great movie. It's one of my favorites, honestly. With Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. And I still think that the contact, like the actual alien contact scene in that movie is one of my favorite alien contact moments in a movie, which might sound controversial to the movie sci-fi people out there because they're like, "What are you talking about? It was stupid." It's like, no, it wasn't stupid. It was actually good. Because like, it it didn't try too hard, I guess is the best way to describe it. It had a simple message. It didn't last too long. And they didn't try to make it like, let's make the aliens really weird or strange and all this, whatever. What they did basically was they gave off the indication that the aliens are incredibly different from us. Their technology is very different from us. Their society is very different from us. But without explicitly showing or stating that. Like, you only see a bit of their technology. Like, you see the machine that they build on Earth, obviously. You see the wormhole network. When she first arrives at Vega, you briefly, for 3 seconds, you see the telescope array around Vega that picked up and was broadcasting the message back to Earth. But then you see a planet with lights on it, but you don't actually see anything explicit. And then when she's in the simulation of Pensacola with her fake dad, you don't see the alien. Although when he's walking towards her and he's all distorted, there's a brief second that looks like it could have been a distortion of what he actually looked like, or just, distortion of person. It's hard to tell, but either way, you don't explicitly see a human. You don't see an alien. You see just a representation of her dad, who they're talking to her through, because they figured it would be easier for her to for them to humans, I guess, her specifically, to understand. And I liked that. It's like the aliens didn't do anything stupid or weird. They just made a weird kind of simulation of a memory and showed themselves in the likeness of someone from her past, just for easy frame of reference. And I liked that because it still came off as being very weird. It was very alien, but it wasn't goofy alien. It wasn't stupid alien. And it also just kind of, it kept the mystery, which I liked. And the message is very nice. It's the whole thing where it's it wasn't a test. It was just an introduction. They encounter they encounter other civilizations, and they send them information on how to build an array or how to build the transit system, and they come and visit. And then they just let them know it's you're not alone in the galaxy, and there's other people here. And then they send them off, and that's just it. It's very nice. I like that. Oh, there's multiple planet life here. And I love at the end, when everyone thought that she was faking it, and it was all a hoax. And James Woods is being terrible, which is apt because he's a terrible person in real life. But his character was being terrible. And the one senator was talking about the headset and how it's it recorded nothing but static. And they were it's not that it was recording static that was interesting. It's the fact it recorded 18 hours of static. So it's like, from their point of view, the drop only took like 1 second, but the headset had 18 hours of static, which is the same amount of time that Dr. Arroway said that she was like away from Earth. So it's like there actually was physical evidence that it happened and it wasn't fake. And it's like, I love it. And I love the soundtrack, I tell you. I listen to the Contact soundtrack when I'm doing astronomy stuff, and it's so wonderful. I need to actually read the book by Carl Sagan it's based off of. I have it, I just haven't read it yet. But that's a great movie. If you haven't seen Contact, you need to go see it. It's just a really good, it's a good feel-good movie, you know? It's one of those movies. Um, Galaxy. It's also, it's fairly optimistic in its views of life in the galaxy, but I like optimism. Like, I like to think that there is more life in the universe than we think. Like, well, I mean, simple life is probably everywhere, but when it comes to civilizations, I'm fairly pessimistic about that, where I think that civilizations aren't terribly common. Like, intelligent life isn't very common. And if we were to survey every planet in the galaxy, we'd probably find more dead civilizations than living ones currently. Which is a very conservative and depressing view of the galaxy, but I like to at least entertain the idea that there's more life in the universe than just a spattering of civilizations and a bunch of dead ones. Because like one of the messages in Contact is like through all of our searching, through all of our basically through all of our searching through the galaxy, the only thing that makes the emptiness bearable is each other. So basically, it's like exploring the galaxy. It's a very empty place. It's a very lonely place. But knowing that there's others out there who share your feelings of loneliness and emptiness about the universe is a comforting thing, and I really appreciate that. It kind of goes down to the whole like looking out at the stars and wondering if there's something staring back at you, which I do frequently. Because you never know. You never know. Planet with life. Sure, let's go. But I think I'm going to end it off there. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry this episode was kind of split in half. But sometimes life gets in the way. And sometimes life finds a way. Anyways, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave suggestions below on topics or places to go. And yeah, space.